This is Amy X for Radio Free, KeyWest.com. We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring you Florida, Election 2010, the primary edition. We will return to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. Let's check in with Radio Free, KeyWest.com political analyst, Carlos Blanco.
This is Carlos Blanco for Radio Free, KeyWest.com. Pulitzer Prize-winning newspaper The Seattle Times calls it, the Barnum and Bailey of politics. Ladies and gentlemen, step right up to the greatest show on earth, for your entertainment. The Florida Election 2010, Primary Edition. Who will be Florida's next governor? After yesterday's Florida primary vote, the possible answers have been whittled down to 3. Republican Rick Scott's involvement with the nation's biggest healthcare scandal didn't seem to faze Florida's Republican voters. Scott squeezed one out by slipping by Attorney General Bill McCollum, for the GOP gubernatorial nomination Tuesday night. His Democratic opponent Alex Sink is a former muckety-muck with Bank of America. She was appointed to several Florida committees by the former governor of Florida, Lawton Chiles. Ironically, it is Lawton's son, Bud Chiles, who has walked his way into this year's race as the independent candidate. If anything, he is expected to woo votes away from Alex Sink. This year's Senate race is certainly getting heated as the final 3 candidates emerged from yesterday's vote. Last night Miami's Democrat Congressman Kendrick Meek mowed down his challenger Jeff Green. Green had trouble playing down his high-life past that includes names like Heidi Fleiss, Lindsay Lohan and Mike Tyson. Meek gets ready for round 2, where he takes on 2 very tough opponents. Republican Marco Rubio is waiting in his corner as he ran unopposed in this year's primary. The right-wing superstar will work hard to keep the U.S.-Cuba relations from thawing. He's young. He's sexy. And he's married to a former Miami Dolphin cheerleader. The third wheel is Republican Florida Governor Charlie Crist, jumped the party when things got crowded with Rubio in the ring. He's giving up his governing ways with his eye focused on the Senate. He's newly independent but still fabulous, and he's the race's biggest contender. Yesterday's election results are in for Monroe County. Now we must endure 8 more weeks of politicking until the November 2, 2010 election day finally arrives. Former Key West Mayor Morgan McPherson put on an impressive show as he mopped up the competition on his way to facing the incumbent and wildly popular Florida State Representative, Ron Saunders. McPherson stole 56% of the votes away from the challenger Matt Gardy. Gardy cried foul on the way much of Morgan's campaign was funded, but it made no difference in the end. Yesterday's biggest upset was a shocker to some but not much of a surprise to many. District 4 Commissioner Mario DiGiannero is out and David Rice is in. The Monroe County Commissioner was no stranger to controversy but was still a beloved member of the good old legendary Bubba system. Incumbent District 2 Commissioner George Nugent will stay put as he warded off the advances of Dan Eagle. Cole showed a respectable 45% of votes casted. The gavel fell yesterday on Dimitrios F. Strachio. I cannot pronounce his last name and neither can anyone else, so he ran on just one name, Dimitrios. One name like Madonna or Cher or Sting. This means longtime County Judge William Reagan to me will remain at the bench. Both available Monroe County School Board seats will be decided in a runoff election on November 2. Robin Smith Martin, a management consultant, and his opponent, the prolific travel journalist, Barbara Bowers, will square off in District 1 after neither candidate received more than 50% of the vote. The same goes for District 5, where Deborah Walker Ph.D. will try her best to outsmart her opponent veteran educator Ron Martin. Voters will have to choose between Dan Dombrowski and Mosquito Man, Dick Riddell, to see who will serve District 2 on the much-coveted board of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control. Jack Bridges had an easy go of it versus Anthony Gibbons and will now represent District 5. On the referendum ballot, voters decided the superintendent of schools be hired and not elected. The referendum tally was 8,695 votes to 4,928. Stay tuned to Radio Free, KeyWest.com for all your needs this election season.